Money can't buy happiness. No. If that were true, why do we feel like it's the root of almost all our problems? Why do we dream of leaving everything to travel without worrying about money? No, money can't buy happiness. But it sure helps. Hi, I'm Nessa. If you're new here, I got on a plane with a ticket to Bali almost 5 months ago. My plan was a solo journey of self-exploration and healing, an adventure that has brought me here today, to an island called Nusa Lembongan. I wanted to spend my last month of this adventure by the sea, in a peaceful place, with no expectations other than to process everything I'd learned and prepare to return to Spain as a new person. You know, I believe life wants you to evolve, but to do that, it will present you with the challenges that are hardest for you, or, more accurately, the ones that are hardest for your mind. Those famous limiting beliefs everyone talks about are nothing more than stories or phrases we've adopted as unshakable truths. Stories we've told ourselves to justify why we aren't where we want to be. Personally, my biggest mental battle right now is with deservingness and money. Let me give you a very recent example. If you watched my last vlog, you saw that the room I was in was a shabby little dump, not a place to spend more than a couple of nights sleeping. It had the basics: a roof, a bed, hot water, and sometimes internet. It was only for 4 days, so I didn't think about making any changes. But when I got to Nusa Lembongan, the situation was even more uncomfortable. The room was brighter, yes, and the bed was comfier, but the bathroom smelled like a sewer. There was no hot water, and the breakfast area smelled like a dirty sink with flies. I was surprised because I'd seen other nicer, more spacious rooms in the same place on the way to my room. So I checked the booking app and saw that, indeed, there was an upgrade available for the 17 days I was going to be here. The difference was 92 euros. Objectively, that's not even enough for one night at a decent hotel in Madrid, and here it would get me hot water, a full bathroom without smells, a better bed, softer sheets, fluffier pillows, blackout curtains, direct views of the pool, no noise at night, and nightstands with little lamps. But my mind went crazy. Right now, that amount of money is a lot for me. And an internal voice started screaming at me. Was I being a spoiled tourist? Could I really not handle living with less when so many people around me were working more than 12 hours a day? Why did I need more comfort? And then, how can I allow myself to spend even more when I don't have any income? What will I do when I go back to Spain? How can I charge for all the ideas and talents I have without feeling guilty? Why do I feel guilty about it? Does the baker feel guilty when he sells me a loaf of bread? Do I feel bad paying when I buy a book? I was in the middle of this spiral of thoughts when a message from my friend Nina appeared on my phone. How's your new room? As I've told you in previous videos, one of the greatest gifts of this trip came from Vietnam. Nina.
Money is easy. You can always make money.
Nina has a gift for giving me those small, loving reality checks that push me to keep climbing the ladder of life. She asked me a simple question that made something click in my head. What kind of person do you want to be in the future? The one in the nice room or the one in the shitty room? The answer was obvious. She was right. I did it. I changed to the nice room. The room shift was like an internal change. I immediately felt much better. even though my mind was still screaming that I was spending too much money and was going to end up sleeping under a bridge just because I wanted a hot shower. To some, it might seem exaggerated, but our own limitations are just like that. In my eagerness to become the person I want to be, I spent the day analyzing the reason for those thoughts. This is an exercise I highly recommend. Write down all those negative thoughts that repeat without pause and find the root. Here's a practical example. To the thought, is it that I can't live without comforts? You only have to look back at some of my videos to see that I can live without comforts. Of course, I can endure 17 days with cold water in a warm country, and if there were no other option, I would have done it without a problem or a complaint. But do I want to do it voluntarily? And then, why do I think that wanting comfort makes me spoiled? I come from a humble working-class neighborhood, from the belief that success in life is getting a government job and buying your own apartment. That money takes a lot of work and earning it means working like a slave. Money is ugly, ostentatious, and people spend it on expensive watches and bags when they could get normal ones that are cheaper and serve the same purpose. Practicality is the norm, pleasure is secondary. Save as much as you can for tomorrow. Spend on yourself is a selfish act. Money is earned by doing things you don't like. Deconstructing why we think what we think gives us a fresh perspective, and from there, we can begin to work on ourselves. And this is where I connect with the idea that money is energy, that wanting to earn money isn't a bad thing. You want to give back to the world, to make it a better place, to help other people, your family, your friends, a cause. But if you don't have enough to eat or a place to live, how are you going to be able to do that from a good place? And also, what kind of example will you set for others if you keep yourself stuck in the same place? I believe that one of the most interesting ways to grow and achieve what we desire is to challenge our own mind where it fears most. We have to aim one step higher than where we were before and take that step, because if there's one great truth, is that we can't move forward in life and achieve those big dreams we have by being the same person we were before. It's scary, yes, but it's only because what lies ahead is completely unknown. Fear is nothing more than an indicator that there's an important lesson there. That's where the ladder is. Do you dare to start climbing? For my part, today I'm taking a small step on telling you that I'm creating a new service and I'm going to need 3 people to test it. If you're in a period of personal transition, are interested in spirituality and like things that are visually beautiful, stay tuned because I'll tell you more probably at the end of the month. I'm also planning on opening 5 spots for Christmas illustrations in mid-October, once I have a fixed place where I can put all my attention on this project and this beautiful community. It's going to be a few busy weeks ahead, but it's time to break out of my shell and become this new version of myself that deserves to have a bathroom without smells and who is capable of creating value for others, even if it still makes me feel uncomfortable. And you, what's your shitty room? That belief that keeps you stuck and won't let you climb a single step on the ladder of your life. What would you do if nothing held you back? Let me know in the comments below. And I see you next week. Goodbye.